Have you ever had a dream to open your own coffee shop? So many people I talk to, I tell them I own a coffee shop and they light up and they're like, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to own a cafe. Like, how do you do it? If I can do it, you can do it too. If you're really serious about this, stick till the end. I have a bonus tip that will speed this up even quicker for you. I'm also gonna be giving away something at the end of the video. First thing I wanna say is that the specialty coffee industry is growing like bananas. There is so much opportunity here, especially going into 2024. The coffee industry is gonna be growing hundreds of millions by 2030, and in my opinion, it's gonna keep growing after that. And if it's not you, then someone else is gonna do it. So you gotta go for it. Now, the very first thing you need to be looking for is location. This might be the most important part of the process. If you don't find a good location, you're just not gonna succeed, period. So what do you wanna look for when you're looking for a location? You wanna make sure there's built-in foot traffic. You wanna make sure there's already a customer base there. So as people are going to their regular spots, they're gonna see that a coffee shop opened, and they're gonna say to themselves, oh man, I should go try that out in the morning. If they like you and they like your product, then they might turn into a regular customer. If you pick a location that's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, it's kind of like tucked in a corner, it's not visible, it's gonna be so much harder for people to find you. And if there's not any of those things, you wanna make sure that you're at least visible. You don't wanna rush this process. You wanna look and look and look. Because if you rush picking a location, you might regret it down the road. You just wanna make sure it makes sense. Think to yourself, would you go to this place if this is where it was located? It is so important that you pick a good location. Number 2 is you have to get money. Obviously, none of this can happen if you don't have money to fund it all. The ideal situation, if you already have the money, find a good location and just go for it. If you already have the money to do this, it's a no-brainer and it's gonna pay off long-term so easily. If you don't have the money, there are a few ways you can go about this. You can totally get a small business loan, but the next couple options are my favorite. Either take a loan from a family member or from a friend, someone who believes in you and the vision and wants to support you. This is what we did for our business. Third, you can crowdfund. So there's Kickstarter, there's GoFundMe. You can literally raise money on your own. People can donate money to you. And this might seem daunting at first, but you just gotta go for it. Like, people are willing to support you. You'd be surprised at how many people are willing to donate to you and to your cause. If you have a really cool vision for a coffee shop in your community, there's a coffee shop here in town. I remember who did a GoFundMe a long time ago. They raised almost $30,000. This is very possible. You can totally do it. So you've got your location, you've got your money to fund the project. Let's talk about legal documentation. So first, you're gonna have to sign your lease, and then you're gonna have to get all your required permits. You're going to need an environmental health permit, and you're going to need a permit from your city to be able to operate. This step might take longer than you expect. It took me 5 to 6 months to get all these permits approved, and these departments operate somewhat slowly. You just have to give them time. Eventually you'll get approved, and once you have all these legal documents, you're basically ready to open. Now, this is the bonus tip that I mentioned earlier. This is so important if you want to speed up your process like times 10. Just like anything in life, there's a teacher for everything. If you can hire a teacher, just like as you would for a sport, if you can hire someone who's been in this industry, this is gonna help you so much. I cannot stress this enough. Whether that's someone locally, somebody online, and you hire them to give you all of their knowledge, I'm telling you, this will speed up your learning curve so fast because you won't have to make all those mistakes that they made. They'll say, hey, this didn't work for me, you should do this instead, because they're gonna know like what works and what doesn't work in the industry. I wish I would have hired a teacher when I first started. I would have avoided so many mistakes, I would have had a lot less stress, and my learning curve would have sped up way quicker. Probably more than anything else, this would be my biggest tip. All right, I said I was gonna give something away. If you have a dream of opening a coffee shop but don't really know where to start, you just need some advice or you need to be pointed in the right direction. So if you wanna enter, just leave a comment on the video. I'll reply to one of you guys. We'll hop on a phone call together and we can just chat about it. If I can be helpful in any way, I will do so. Now, you might be asking yourself, how much is this gonna cost? What's the equipment I'm going to need? I actually recently just did a video here about the cost of opening a coffee shop. You should totally go check this out. This will give you a more comprehensive understanding of how much a coffee shop actually costs. And if you're interested in learning more, I've got a bunch of vlog videos that you can learn a ton from, just from an operational perspective. It's such a rewarding business to be in, and I wanna help you guys out. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.